Hello from sunny Uzbekistan, friends. I there with you. Today I want to share some sad news with you. The once popular Linux distribution, Arco Linux, after 8 years of activity, is finally retiring on July 1st. If you are an active user of Linux distribution, then most likely you are familiar with this distro. This Linux distribution was based on Arch Linux and was aimed at beginners, so that it will be easier to them to adapt, and they could better learn Linux. The development of this distro was carried out by Eric Dubois. How to pronounce his surname currently, I honestly don't know, but since most call him Eric Dubois, I will also call him that. Don't worry about him. He's fine, he's alive, healthy, and will soon turn 18 years old, with which I congratulate him. Eric also has his own channel, where there are more than 5,000 videos regarding Linux, with similar explanation and training. Er- Eric also has his own training plan on how to better get into Linux and several options for distribution designed for this. According to Dubois, the project team didn't just create a distribution, but formed a way of thinking in Linux for users. Links to the site, the necessary distros, and materials will be in comments. He also often answers comments on his YouTube channel. So, if you are interested in this topic, you can go to his channel and ask your question, or send my regards. I will be pleased. I am honestly amazed at his productivity, since for so many years, at such an age, he managed to create so much and support one of the best distro for learning Linux. No jokes, I have used many distributions, but this distribution evokes the warmest feeling in me when I remember it. Since this distribution me to work with Styled Window Manager, I once used Arco Linux based program, and if you look my Arch Linux based program, it is a little similar to what is there, and it's not without reason, because I still have the configuration for the previous system, and I often use them to understand how to improve my system, because I like it so much. I recently reinstalled it my virtual machine to record this video about it, and when I turned it on this distribution, I thought to myself, I'm home. I made this distro thanks to a blogger like Penguinus. In his latest news video, he mentored a distribution like Arco Linux, which was intended for beginners. And then, my Manjaro KDE, once again, after an update, began to turn into a brick on my new laptop. Not because it was based on Arch, but because it's Manjaro, which doesn't like its code to be tinkered with. And I like that. Plus, I wanted to try such a thing as mosaic window managers, which everyone was talking about, but which I could not use because they had to be assembled and configured by yourself. And Zen distribution appeared that had everything out of the box and was interested for beginners. I deleted Manjaro and immediately switched to Arco Linux based program. To say that, I was surprised is to say nothing. I had everything, and everything was configured currently. Looking ahead, I would say that I managed to ruin this distro too, because of my inexperience at that time. Of course, there were some glitches, but you could fix them yourself if you wanted, and configure the distribution to your taste. And first, it was difficult to understand how to do this, and I often pestered all the Linux bloggers in these comments who answered, but this is different. Arco Linux does almost the same thing as Ubuntu Sway from Alexei Samoilov and Estelos Linux from Russian bloggers, but on a large scale. Unfortunately, no matter how good everything is, everything eventually comes to an end, and the Linux distribution Arco Linux is not exception. As I mentioned, Eric is turning 18 soon, and despite this, he has been supporting this distro for 8 years. This deserves respect, but you must admit, at such an age, it is difficult to produce the same productivity as before without making mistakes that can affect such a large-scale project. Therefore, Eric made strong-willed decision to stop supporting and releasing version of Arco Linux distribution. But no fear, if you are an Arco Linux user, there is a transition software package in the works to help you convert your exciting Arco Linux system to Arch Linux. This package will remove the Arco Linux branding, replace pacmanconf with Arch and Chaotic Owl oriented configuration file, and change Arco Linux mirror list at since source. Also, all open source material he created will remain online, so that future developers who pick up his idea can continue his works if they wish. So perhaps we will see a new distro of this type. At last, I really hope so. And one last thing. This story might seem sad, but as one great philosopher said, you can be angry that the sun is setting, but nothing depends on our view, and the night will be coming anyway, and then there will be morning. So here am I sad, a little, but I'm glad that this distro definitely managed to leave a mark in people's hearts, and perhaps it will be able to rise again, like the phoenix from the ashes. That's all. Watch my other videos and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This video also available in Uzbek and Russian language. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.